Hello, students. How are you all? Hope you're fine. So, today we are going to begin with our next topic, that is question tag. Yes, students, question tag. Have you heard about this topic? So, let's see what is stored in for us today. Now, in grammar, a question tag is a very short clause at the end of the statement which changes the statement into a question. For example, she said half price, didn't she? The words didn't she is a question tag. We call it as what? We call it as a question tag. That means we are confirming something. Whenever any confirmation is required, we are asking a question for confirmation. It is adding a question tag. Now, the question tags, the meaning or the definition in a nutshell, it is a it is a short question added to the end of the statement. It turns a statement into a question. As earlier given example. Now one more example we'll take. She is dancing. Now this is a completely simple sentence. Simple statement. Now isn't she? When I will add a question tag, then my answer will be isn't she? That is the tag added. Now this is the format given. But how do we form it? Now see here the various examples given. Do you, did she, have I, had they, will you, should I, hadn't we. Now haven't they, didn't he, don't they, wasn't he, isn't it. Now if you observe between these examples given of the question tag, the one given on left side, that is do you, these are positive tags. Did she, have I, these are known as a positive tags. That means the statement might have been in a negative form. And the tags hadn't we, these are all the examples of the negative tags. So the statement should be in a positive form. That means here comes into the scene the first rule. Statement is in a positive form, the tag has to be negative. But when the statement is in negative form, the tag has to be positive. For example, if we take the first example, hadn't we, I had. Now here, as I said, the statement will be what? Positive. So the tags are negative. Now here, do you. If I take this first example, I know you. Now here, first of all, these are only the tags. Now example one by one, we will look ahead. Now as you all know, the verb, these are the column given here. Verb tense, sentence tag, now sentence negative tag and sentence positive tag. As earlier, only examples were been given. Now here we will see how practically we use these tags. Now present B, the verb tense, she is American. The sentence is positive sentence. The statement is positive. So the tag will be negative, isn't? Then the same subject is to be repeated, that is she. Now she is an American. Now here, when the sentence is negative itself, so the tag will be positive. Is she? Now coming to this present simple. You study English, don't you? Study English is already the form of what? Is already the form of the positive form of sentence. So the tag is negative, don't you? But when the sentence itself is negative, you don't study English, so the tag will be positive. That is, do you? Remember the example I had shown you earlier? Now, past simple. You were at home. You were at home. So, taking again the auxiliary verb, we are forming the tag, that is the weren't you. If I take the negative sentence, you weren't at home, then the tag will be positive. Were you? Now, past continuous. Tom was watching TV. Wasn't he? Now, here Tom wasn't watching TV. Negative sentence. Tom is not watching TV. So, when you are adding tag, it will be positive. Was he? Now, why he will come? Because Tom is a boy. He has written 5 letters, hasn't he? Here the subject will remain as it is. But when the name is given, it will be changed into the pronoun form. He hasn't written 5 letters. Hasn't. That is a negative statement changing into the positive. Has he? Now coming to the past perfect. You had, you had lunch. Now see here, twice the had is being repeated. It is what? It is an example of the past perfect. Had means here it is not the past tense, but it is when you had your food, you ate your food. So you had lunch, hadn't you? You hadn't had lunch, had you? So the positive statement will have negative tag and the negative sentence will have positive tag. Now will, that is the future. I will read this book. Now here, if it was I, let's pay attention students. He will read this book. If it was I, then it will change. But here he will read this book. So won't he? It will remain as it is. Subject remains as it is. He won't read this book. Negative sentence. So the tag is positive. Will he? Now coming to the modal verbs. He can read this book. Can't he? Now again here he subject is given. So here the tag will be also negative. Sentence positive, tag negative, sentence negative, so the tag will be positive. He can't read this book. Sentence is negative because can't, that is he cannot read this book, so he can't read this book. Can he? The tag is positive. Now coming to this slide, a question tag is a small question. A question tag is a small question at the end of a statement. Question tags are used when asking for agreement or confirmation. So here, if we look at this, a positive statement plus a negative question tag. Now you are, if we look here, you are a student. So students, I'm asking you all, you are a student. Now here, add question tag. So what will be your answer? What I'm asking you? Yes. So the tag will be negative. That is, aren't you? So here we find a subject pronoun comes after an auxiliary or a form of the verb to be. You subject, auxiliary verb are a student. Aren't you? Now negative statement. Mary isn't a teacher. Now, a negative statement will have what? Will have, yes, correct, will have positive question tags. So, Mary isn't a teacher. So, whenever you're adding question tag, after the statement, you will put comma followed by what? Is she? Because the statement is negative, so the tag will be positive. Is she? So here we find a subject pronoun is used to replace the noun or a noun phrase. So how a format will be? After writing down the statement as it is, you will put comma and then you will add the tag according to the statement given. Here the statement is positive, so the tag will be negative. Here the statement itself is negative, so the tag will be positive. Now, intonation in the meaning. The intonation of a question tag shows the exact meaning of it. If the intonation of the question tag goes up, it means you are not sure and you want to know the answer. For example, John doesn't speak Spanish, does he? Now, if the intonation of the question tag goes down, it means you are checking and confirming information or making conversation. See, for example, intonation is the how you speak out. For example, here, John doesn't speak Spanish. If I speak in this manner, so my intonation is going down. But if I say, John doesn't speak, so here we find that whenever the intonation, your voice changes accordingly, that you are not sure about the answer, you want to know the answer. But here, whenever your question tag goes down, that means you're checking on or confirming the information or making conversation. So it depends upon the intonation, but basically the rule will remain same as it is. As I said earlier, that John doesn't speak English, sentence is negative. So it will be John doesn't speak Spanish, comma, does he? The John subject, it will change into pronoun. So, so John turn into he. Now coming to the positive statement and negative question tag, it's just a recap. You are late. You is subject, auxiliary verb. We'll copy the statement as it is. We'll put comma. Then are positive statement. Turn it negative. Aren't you? And at the end will come question mark. That is a question tag. Now verb and do in the same tense. You study English. Don't you? You study English. You're studying English. So for confirmation, so don't you? So here do is not there, but it is understood that you're doing something. So you're studying English. So it will come. Don't you? The subject remains same as it is. Just examples. You are a student. Tag will come negative. Aren't you? He is very busy. Tag will become negative. Isn't he? He was happy. So tag becomes negative. Wasn't he? They were surprised. So negative tag will be weren't they? You speak English. So don't you, here a do is not there, but it is understood that you are doing something, you are speaking English, you are studying, or you studied. For example, you studied for the test, didn't you? So here it is understood. It is a do example, do type of the verb. You have studied all week. So here already the verb is given. Have becomes haven't you. Had becomes hadn't you. Will becomes won't you. Will not become willn't you. Always remember will become won't you. Can you can speak two languages, can't you? Now can becomes can't, could becomes couldn't, must becomes mustn't, should becomes shouldn't, would becomes wouldn't. Only way to pay attention that will become won't. Now there are certain exceptions. Now exceptions, for example, I say I am late. So here am will become aren't. So aren't I am late, comma, aren't I? Let's go home. So let's together we'll go home now. So let's go home. So shall we? It is understood. It is a plural form. So it becomes shall we. There. Example. There's a lot of homework today, isn't there? So there will remain as it is. Indefinite pronouns as subjects, someone, everybody, anybody, nobody, they are substituted by they in the question tag. Someone will come, won't they? So this manner we had, yeah, that are certain exceptions are relating to there, relating to indefinite pronouns, and nothing and everything are substituted by it. See, indefinite pronouns, whenever they are used as a subjects, time the tag is being written in the form of they. As here you can see, someone is it is the indefinite pronoun, but now here we find the third exception. Nothing and everything are substituted by it. Whenever the subject it begins with nothing and everything, then the tag will be ending with the it. So here are these few exceptions where and how to add the question tag. Otherwise, basically the rules remain same as it is. Positive statement, so no, so will come negative tag, and if the sentence is or if the statement is negative, so the tag will be positive, except these few exceptions. So I hope you all have understood this topic very well. And if you like my educational video, kindly like it and subscribe it. Thank you once again, children, and God bless you all.